Yo, this NFL offseason has been absolutely crazy so far. This is Chuck with Roscoe's Ramblings. Welcome back. It's been a long time since this channel's uploaded some content, and with everything that's been going on, now's the perfect time. As a Seahawk fan, lifelong Seahawk fan, I have a lot of feelings about what has happened not only with my own club, but with all the clubs. There's been trades all over the place. Picks are flying, money's flying. It's like the Wild West out here. I would like to get specifically into the Seahawks, and obviously the biggest story out of that camp is the Russell Wilson trade. Been a long time coming. I thought it was by far the best thing we could have done. It's hard to say that with a Pro Bowl cornerback and not knowing, not having as a successor or a succession plan. I don't think Drew Lock inspires much faith. I think I want to, we all want to give him a shot. How could we not? I don't know if he's been given a fair cut just yet, but all right, to the Russell Wilson trade, 2 firsts, 2 seconds. That's excellent value. A fifth swapped for a fourth, sure, whatever. And then two definite starters, one potential starter in Drew Lock, who's coming in to hopefully compete. I believe the only other quarterback that's on the roster right now is Jacob Eason. So they're probably evaluating quarterbacks in the draft. However, I don't think this is the year to use such a high draft pick on a quarterback, as none of them are rated within the top 30 best available as far as just position, if you're going regardless of position. Hard to justify taking a Malik Willis or a Matt Corral. Those guys might be good. Are they worthy of the overall number 9 pick? Not when you have a roster that needs literally everything. And in this video, I want to go specifically into the offensive side of the Seattle Seahawks roster today. And then I want to do a separate video in the near future of the Seahawks defense. That was obviously the unit that gave up an insane amount of yards because our safety, who we pay $18 million to make a player to. Anyway, all right, that will be a future video. Let's go over the offense. All right, sans Russell Wilson for the first time in a decade. As a Seahawk fan, that is a tough sentence to say out loud. We're coming to grips with it day by day, everybody in their own way. I don't have anything negative to say about the man. Yes, he was vanilla. Yes, he was extremely tedious to listen to at press conferences, and Mr. Tell You Right, everything you want to hear is coming out of Russ's mouth all the time. He's a playwright, ready to go, here we go, uplifting, here we go. So can't really, give the guy too much in the area of negativity, but don't want to see him succeed in Denver. No Seahawk fan likes that franchise, and I can put $1 on that one. So going into this season offensively, we'll start quarterback room. Just mentioned it. I believe all we have right now is Locke and Jacob Eason. So we're definitely going to need to make a move to bring in some sort of arms to push somebody, whether it be, a veteran. There's always a veteran. I don't know if we can re-sign Geno. He had some legal issues with a potential DUI that happened earlier last year. So that could keep him from re-signing with us, which was could be unfortunate because when Russell was out last year, Geno was not terrible. He made a couple of costly mistakes that lost us some games, but he showed signs of being able to run that offense. So quarterback grade, oof, right now, what are we, a D, you guys? I mean, come on, D minus. Drew Lock hasn't really proved a whole lot. As much as I'd like to have faith in the kid, you can't really put the tape, the proof isn't there on tape, and it's unfortunate. Let's hope he can come in and, really start his career off in Seattle, and I guess really on a new foot, much better than he did in Denver. Stay healthy. But that all depends on the offensive line, which so far hasn't gotten any better this offseason due to the fact that we have lost both of our tackles. Dwayne Brown is gone. We won't have Brandon Shell either. I forget where he signed, but he put together a new deal, so he's gone too. We also lost Jamarco Jones, so that was our swing tackle. There's the starting 3 right there. So we're rolling in with, let's see, I wrote this down. Jake Curhan, I remember him from last year just a little bit. Big white dude, Mauler, but who knows if he's supposed to be the guy. Along with Stone Forsyth. So he was a rookie we drafted in the 7th round. Super tall, so they said leverage was an issue with him. Don't know what he's going to develop into. We really need tackle help, y'all. Our guards don't look terrible, neither does our center. We signed Austin Blythe from the Rams, which could be a very good pickup. Ethan Posick left in free agency, so wish him well. We also re-signed Kyle Fuller, who started some games for us. So you like a little bit of flexibility at that position, one or two guys that can, run the offense, but we don't even know what our offense is going to look like, with Locke underneath it. It's probably going to be a lot of the same, run the ball, hard nose, powers, along with some, sweet motions with D. Eskridge, or, hopefully we keep around Penny Hart and Freddie Swain. Anyway, I'll get into the wide receivers as well. But so let's talk about our guards. That's the only part of our offensive line that I am completely sold on. Gabe Jackson and Damian Harris are absolute maulers. They are going to anchor that offense on the inside just fine. So we need tackle help, y'all. That's what we need to use the 9th pick on. Point blank, period. It all depends on how it rolls off, though, because if the top 3 prospects at tackle are all gone by number 9, it's no good to reach for a 4th one just because we need that help. It would be better to go best position available, which still wouldn't be quarterback, by the way. Cornerback, we could use one of those. There's supposed to be some highly rated cornerbacks. Edge, linebacker, after we have traded Bobby Wagner. Anyway, once again, I digress. It's the reason why my channel's named Roscoe's Ramblings, because even though I'm on a topic, I can go a little bit anywhere within that umbrella. Okay, so there's our quarterback and our offensive line. Let's talk about wide receivers. Obviously, the big names here are DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. Those two are 1,000-yard receivers, almost guaranteed locked in. Love me some DK. He's a little bit of a diva. Came out just this week saying that he thinks it's his time to step up. He's going to take the locker room and be a leader. Don't know if he's mentally prepared for that. A lot of scrutiny can come in those directions, and he hasn't shown the propensity to be decent with that stuff. Now, he's an absolute animal. Good Lord, I'd never say any of this to his face. I'd like to think he's a really nice dude, but he's got to just play this year. Go out and earn that bag that he wants. He's going to want, because it's his 4th year. He's a 2nd-round pick, so we don't have a 5th-year option. So he's going to get paid. Good Lord, we're going to pay him. We didn't trade him this offseason, which indicates to me that we're going to give him another deal. Granted, this offseason hasn't ended. It's one of the reasons why I'm making this video now, just because it's been so crazy. But Tyler Lockett, bless his heart, right? He is the ultimate Seahawk. He's essentially Steve Largent 2.0, the undersized guy who can just run all the routes, catch all the balls, make all the moves. Love that man. I hope he just stays a Seahawk till the day he plays football no more. So 2 great wide receivers starting there. And then our 3rd going into the year so far, as I know of, would be Freddie Swain, who really started coming into his own last year and very much enjoyed to see the progression. He's got, that good body size that he can also get separation, though. Great hands, fast. Kid should be a stud. We should have a D. Eskridge. Okay, yeah, let's not forget about him. And Penny Hart, who are same archetype. Penny plays much more of the special teams, and D's supposed to be more the sweep motion guy, things of that nature. D was hurt a lot of the last year, so it's hard to give him, a grade coming into this year as far as what we should expect out of him. Hopefully he stays healthy. Hopefully he's still fast as all get out. Hopefully him and Penny Hart can make a difference. But 3 out of 5 wide receivers that, studs, 2 out of the 5 have potential to be serious role players. So overall, very happy in the receiving room. B+, bordering on an A for sure. That leads us with the tight ends. So that's not leaves. We're going to the tight ends, which thank you for re-signing Will Dissly. A lot of people said $8 million for him was, a lot, considering his receiving yards hasn't been that much. He's been kind of banged up. But when you see the movement that we got in the Denver trade, picking up Noah Fant, there's your receiving tight end, right? Now, he necessarily hasn't been healthy either. So hopefully we can get a balance of the both throughout the year to make the difference. We also have Colby Parkinson, tall mofo. That kid's like 6'6", I believe, out of Stanford. Absolutely got great hands. We need to play him more. He just doesn't block very well since he is so tall. He's almost strictly a receiving tight end. And in that Carroll offense, it's tough to just be a standout receiving tight end now, isn't it, Jimmy? Okay. So I like the tight end room mostly just because I'm a homer and I've been watching all these dudes play. In our system outside of Fant. If he's healthy, he can be a game wrecker. He was a top 10 pick. So if I'm being fair, C plus B minus. There's a lot of potential in that Seattle tight end room, but it hasn't been proven the same way that our wide receiver core has. Last up would be the running back room, which you know is probably the most interesting out of all of them. Outside of the quarterback, I wouldn't say it's interesting just because it's almost dire. um, we might be in for a rough season, Seahawk fans. But let's go over the running backs, which is a glimmer of hope. We re-signed Rashad Penny, who came on and was RB1 the last month of the year. Now, granted, we weren't playing for much, so teams probably weren't out there trying to smoke him the same way they would be if we were competing for a playoff spot, or if they were competing for a playoff spot, or whatever the case may be. So we gave him a fair deal at one year, five mil. Great. Perfect. Let's see what he's got. I'm so thankful that he didn't leave. I think more teams were weary about giving him a contract because he had that ACL injury and he hasn't necessarily played he definitely hasn't played a full year. So I'm sure teams want to see that. So he could reset his market value big time if he comes in and, keeps up those numbers from last year. And that would help out whatever quarterback's under center because, good Lord, if you can have 1,000-yard rusher on lock and who knows what Chris Carson can do. He had offseason neck surgery and the neck issue that kept him out. He only played 3-4 weeks last year. So his legs should be fresh. If that neck can get right, that's a terrifying body part to try to rehab over and over and over again. Let's hope he's 100%. If not, I wish the man the best, and I don't ever want to see anybody on the football field that doesn't feel like they're 100%. So if we were to never see Chris Carson again, it would bum me out because the guy is an absolute bruiser. He's so fun to watch. And he's also got sneaky speed. He can beat you quickly, too. Like, the guy is just a monster. So let's hope we get him back. Him and Penny as a 1-2. I know we've prophesized this now for 4 years in a row, but this could be the year. Along with, DJ Dallas and Travis Homer. Those guys more play special teams, but they are, plug and plays when it comes to third down, scat back, or if, knock on wood, unfortunately, there's another injury, they do spell, in the running game. So overall, I like the running back group. Once again, it's based on potential. They have a lot of potential, not so much guaranteed success due to injury history. If we can stay healthy, which is the great caveat against all NFL teams in all NFL games and seasons, uh, I, that offense overall, right? So if you grade that together, overall, you're looking at, I don't know, potentially a C plus, right? I mean, other than that quarterback room drags us down because I was honest with it. I gave us a D minus. It's not good. So outside of that, which obviously they say is the most important position in all the sports, and it's hard to argue. Look at everybody who wins the Super Bowls. They have marquee quarterbacks. Uh, that being said, overall, I really hope that the Seahawks just stay the course and realize that, even though we are retooling and we do have some good pieces, that we're not necessarily the Legion of Boom and the Hawks of 2012. You know what I mean? We all wish for the good old days where we were just slaying teams and, doing everything that we wanted against the league. But this year, we have to really come together and we got to figure out that damn QB room. that's my take on the offense. Like I was saying, I'm going to do another upload of a video more based, well, strictly based on the defensive line up. Anyway, the defensive lineup, every position group, give a mock grade, kind of do an overall, just like I did this video. Uh, as always, got rambling. That's the whole point. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave your hot takes or your comments below, things you agree with, things you don't, things you want to hear, things you don't want to hear. Anything. Engagement is great. Let's help the algorithm, all right? I'll be back with that defensive video, and everybody else, have a good night.